Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be making what?
Seahorses.
We are going to be making seahorses. So I'm going to show you how to create this seahorse picture with this really cool kind of marker painting technique. So for this, you're going to want cardstock if you have cardstock, or a thicker paper. If you only have printer paper, you can use that. You might just have to color with markers or colored pencils though, instead of doing the painting technique that we're going to do. You need markers, you need a bucket of water and a paintbrush. You also need to get a big black marker and a Sharpie. We're gonna have thick lines and we're gonna have thin lines for this project. All right, you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so to start making our seahorse, we are going to use our thick black marker. If it's easier for you to start with a pencil, then go ahead and start with a pencil, but we're gonna start with our marker. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make the head of our seahorse. So I'm going to start right about here and I'm going to make a hill like this.
Right about where?
Start right about here and make a hill. Good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is on the back end of that hill, I'm going to come down and then come around like this. It almost looks like I'm making a backwards S when I'm done. Good. All right, now I'm going to make the mouth of my seahorse. So I'm going to start right here at the end of my head and I'm going to actually make a diagonal line that's pointing down. And then I'm going to make another one that's pointing back this way. Kind of looks like a beak.
It's like a duck beak.
Yeah, it does look like a duck beak. Okay, then from that point, I'm going to draw the bottom part of my seahorse's face. And notice how I don't touch this edge right here, but I get real close to it. Get real close to that edge. Good. Okay, now let's finish off the mouth by making two little bumps on the end like that. Almost looks like a little kissy face.
It's like the kiss emoji.
Yeah, good. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish out the belly, and our seahorse is gonna have a big, wide belly. So I want you to look at my finger and see how I'm making it nice and wide. It's not gonna be a skinny one. So I'm gonna come under here, under the face, and I'm gonna come out, big belly, around, and then all the way up to that tail. Out, 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 around, up to that tail. Good. Okay, the next step is we're gonna make those top little fin things that they have. So I'm gonna make a diagonal line that is pointing towards the left side of my paper up here.
I always thought those things look funny, like little mohawks.
Yeah, they do look like little mohawks, don't they? All right, so then I'm gonna start right here and watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna scoop down and up, scoop down and up, scoop down and up, and look how they're nice and big and wide. Scoop down and up, and I'm coming all the way around. If I need to twist my paper, I can. When I get past my seahorse's head, I'm just gonna do a straight line back into my seahorse. And yes, it does look like a mohawk. Good. All right, now what we're gonna do is on this tail, I'm going to make jumping lines. So I'm going to jump, and I am gonna turn my paper. I'm gonna jump, 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 and I'm touching the seahorse's body, and I'm gonna jump all the way down to about down there, like that. Jump, 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 jump. Good. Okay. Then I'm gonna make the inside part of my seahorse's tummy. So I'm gonna start right up here and I'm going to come down. I'm not gonna go all the way out here to the edge. I'm just gonna kind of scoop around a little bit and come to the end, like that. Good. All right, so now let's go ahead and make some sand on the bottom of our picture. Going from one end all the way to the other. And let's go ahead and make some seaweed. So to make our seaweed, I'm just going to wiggle up a line, and then when I get to the top, I'm going to make it pointy and wiggle back down till it gets pointy at the bottom. Good, or flat at the bottom, that's fine too. I'm gonna make another little seaweed, and this seaweed might be a little bit smaller, just because that's how much room I have at the bottom. Good, wiggly way back. Good, now let's make some over here. So I'm gonna start and I'm gonna wiggle my way up, stop, make it pointy, and then wiggle back down. And then I'm gonna make another one. And depending on how much room you have, you could maybe even make a third one. It's totally up to you. Good. And then by my seahorse's mouth, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make some bubbles. I'm gonna make some that are a little bit smaller and some that are a little bit bigger. There's little bubbles coming out of his mouth. Yeah. Good. Okay, so now I'm done with my big fat marker. I'm gonna actually add some details in with my Sharpie, or if you had a skinny black marker, you could use skinny black. If you don't have a skinnier marker, you can keep using the fat one. Just looks kind of neat when you've got some thick lines and some thin lines to give some kind of difference there in the lines. All right, so I'm gonna start up here at the top, and I'm gonna draw a line coming from each one of those points back into my seahorse's head, like that. So see how my lines are thicker and then these ones are skinnier? Just looks cool to have a variety.
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right, now inside my seahorse's belly, I'm gonna do these small, and they're gonna get bigger, these smile lines. I call them smile lines because I kind of curve. And see how I keep them far apart from one another? There. Good. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, and then for the tail, I'm gonna make another jump line right in the middle of the first ones that I made, like this. Perfect. And then I'm gonna give my seahorse an eye. I'm gonna make a oval. And then inside that, ooh, your seahorse has a nice big eye, I like it. And then I'm gonna make a round circle up front, which is gonna be the little highlight. And I don't color the highlight in, but I color everything else in with my Sharpie. And if I want my seahorse to be a little girl, what could I add to it?
Lashes.
Little lashes, just like Addie did, okay? Now in my seaweed, I'm going to give a little thin, wavy line like this. I could put one in, I could put two in. It's totally up to you. I'm just gonna put one in these ones. Good. And then in my sand, I'm gonna add some dots. I'm not going crazy, but that helps it kind of look like sand. Perfect. Oh, Addie's gonna put lots of dots in her sand. Yep, go kind of slow so they look like dots. Good. There you go. All right, while she's doing that, in my big bubbles, I'm just gonna add these little light reflectors. Yeah, some of the small ones, I can't add them in there, so I'm not gonna worry about it, but just in the big ones. Okay, perfect. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you this really cool painting technique that you can use with your markers. Now, if your paper is computer paper, then using this water might end up putting a hole in your paper, so you might think about just using markers and colored pencils. If you've got some thicker paper like cardstock, then it works a lot better. So what you wanna do is you want to choose your colors. So let's say, I'll start with my seaweed, and I'm gonna use this dark green. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to outline the dark green on the inside, and I'm using the fat part of my marker. I'm kind of holding it sideways and using the fat part and getting that ink really in that seaweed. So I'm gonna do that one dark green, and then I'm gonna do this one light green, just so there's a variety of color in my seaweed. Okay, so then maybe I'll do this big one, the light, and then this small one, the dark. Okay, so then what you're gonna do is you are going to get your paintbrush with your water, and you're just going to paint on top of the marker that you just put on there, and then inside. And see how the marker bled, the color bled into the white? That water picks up that ink, and then you can spread it into the white area. And this is where, if you've got kind of thin paper, you could end up with a hole. So you want to be careful. But go ahead and get that marker part wet first, and then just let it bleed into the white.
cool.
Isn't that fun? Another thing that you can do is if you have some old markers that are drying out, you can actually get a little container of water and you can turn it upside down and set the marker in the water, this part in the water, and let it sit overnight. And then your water will turn, so this is green, will turn that green color, and then you'll have a liquid watercolor that you can use. You can use that colored water. You can also use food coloring, a little bit of food coloring in your water to turn your water a color and paint with that as well. So there's some different ways that you can actually make your paint at home. So we're going to use this technique throughout the rest of our picture. I'll go ahead and make the sand real quick so you can see. I want to outline not just the top part of the sand, but I want to outline the edge of my paper and the bottom of my paper too. I'm going to get this wet again, this paintbrush, and you can really see with the brown how it gets, how that water grabs the ink from the marker.
I'm gonna start with my seahorse.
You're gonna do your seahorse? Awesome. There we go. Okay. What color are you doing your seahorse? Blue?
Blue.
Nice. I like it. So when you're doing your seahorse, like in here, I could do different colors. Let's say I want to do this kind of pinky color. So I would outline the top and the sides of this one, that pink color. And then let's say I want to do this one purple. I would outline all the parts, all the edges, like that. And then I can get my paint, go on top of the marker, and paint it in. Same thing with this one, just like that. Awesome. Should we show them what it looks like when they're all done?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can keep doing that throughout your whole entire picture, and then when you're all done, it'll look something like, oh, our neighbors are banging on the wall. It'll look something like this. So to get the blue in the background, I actually outlined the paper, and then I outlined all the seaweed and my seahorse, and then I used the ink from all that and kind of just brought it in to make the background. My paper got a little crinkly because it's still a little bit wet, but you can always set some books on top of it to help flatten it out. But when you're all done, you're gonna get this kind of cool blended painted look. So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe so you know when new videos are coming. And share your seahorse pictures with us on Facebook. Take a picture of it and show us. We want to see them, right?
Yeah, don't forget to comment what colors you chose to use on your seahorse down below.
There you go. Awesome. All right, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.